What's up, fam? I'm back, and this is my new wig and my new addiction. So, if you watched my last video that I just finished, I needed to be on a more positive note before I talked about that. So here we are on our positive note and our new creation, this beautiful thing that my boyfriend has so kindly named Leela. Thank you, babe. I love you. So Leela was originally black, and I made her pink. So she was a Brazilian real hair wig. To me, like, how do you know where the hair comes from? The only reason I really want to put that in quotes was because when I asked the seller where they were from, they didn't tell me. They didn't want to tell me. They were actually texting me. So I asked them to sponsor a video or like to send me a wig. They didn't want to, so they had their opportunity for me to be nice to them. So I'm just gonna spill the real tea. At the end of the day, I did buy another after I had this, after I already kind of realized this. Judge me, I'm sorry. I'm gonna be honest though, I don't know. Like I've heard things like, would this woman actually want her image used? I don't know, right? Like I don't know. This is the card that comes with it though, and you do get free gifts like it's listed. I'm supposed to be receiving more. So on this card it just says, "Hi dear, we appreciate that you place your order in my store. To appreciate you, I'm glad to remind you that we will send you a free gift. We have 6 different gifts as following pictures. If you are interested, please contact us and tell us which gift you more want. If you have any questions after receiving, please contact me. Any questions. I will do my best to solve it perfectly for you. Heart." Email gcooley@spaceoutlook.com. WhatsApp and iMessage. There's a phone number listed, and Instagram is Baluki Hair. So I'm gonna take photos in this and tag them, because I'm not that mad at it. And I did promise to put a review up on line afterwards, after I received the other 2 wigs, after I was contacted. I promised to put up the reviews after I dyed this as well, but I also hadn't received the straight wig yet, so I didn't feel like I had full comments because I had only had this first piece that I received. The shipping was incredibly fast. These with tax and everything were only $100, like $101.25 or some shit. So super cheap. They each came with a black wig cap. I mean, they are black hair. They're meant for African American women, not my white ass. So, like, I'm not that mad at that. That's okay. That's cool. I'm going on my wig journey, but I'm the 10%, I've been told. I don't know. I've been doing tons of research. It's all interesting. So, you know, it comes in one of these, like, oh, there's a comb stuck to this. Comb not included. Comes in one of these nets. It's like held together nice in a good, nice bag too. I have one in my closet, but like whatever. It's in a nice bag. These are an example of the lashes that you get with it. So as you can see, like the print, that's not English. I don't know what Brazilians speak, but it's not these caricatures, which are either Chinese or Korean. I don't know why, but I did watch a video and somebody said you don't want Korean. I would think that's just for ethical reasons. So thoughts. Somebody please comment, tell me what we know about wigs and ethical things. Don't know things. But as far as these lashes go, they are really comfy considering the band is kind of thick, but I layered them for a drag look I did, which was really fun, and they worked for that. So I mean, whatever, like, free lashes, thanks. I also got a pair of earrings with the one. They were just these little gold straight earrings. I don't know where I put them, and I don't care enough to find them. So this is the other wig from Baluki. This is what this wig originally looked exactly like. They're both 22 inches. When I did this one out, it looks longer. So as you can see, like, maybe you can't tell, but like maybe it does lay about the same, but it felt like this definitely turned out longer. So the cap ends about here, and then you get all this hair down. So here, let me put this back. This is how it looks on me. So, you know, it is really soft. It smells pretty good. It smells like partially like the bag it came in probably, and the rest just smells like like shampoo. Like it smells good. It didn't stink. The first one I put on, when I caught it, I was like, oh, this isn't bad. Like I expected something funky, but it's nice. So they are for the ones I ordered. Oh, by the way, I also ordered this on Amazon, 4-pack for 19 bucks. 10 out of 10 recommend this over any other type of stand. You can hang it and you can hang them to themselves. Like this. Not sponsored. This is a 4x4 closure for the lace. So I will show you my Charisma wigs that I ordered that are synthetic, and I'll show you the 13x4 closure, which I actually prefer. But I think the reason that these were only $100, but they're 22 inches, and they are real hair. I tested them. I gave them the burn test. They are real hair. Is because the lace closure is only 4 inches at the top. What that means is I think the combs are better placed. I really like the placement of these. I felt like it held on my head better here than having them back farther. That's my personal opinion. You could also say, well, I don't want it pulling on those hairs. I don't know what you'd prefer, but I like it. There's also one in the back and the nape of the neck, and there's more lace back there as well. I purposely did not cut this one so that I could show you. Obviously the one on my head has been cut, so you can see how this is laying, and we're going to talk about this hairline in a minute. We'll get there. But yeah, so it's cut up and it's pretty hideable, except for the fact that right here at the end of the lace, so if you do cut it back, which mind you, the hair isn't laying on most of this, so it doesn't really matter, but there is this little nub, and that nubby thing shows if you pull it back too far, so you have to make sure the hair is laying. Do you need it pinned back the way I have in this contraption? No, that has to do with the hairline, which, as you see, comes pre-plucked. It looks very natural on. It looks beautiful on. I will insert a clip after this of the wig in its original state, like this, on my head. Oh, I just got my first real hair wig from Beluki. Beluki, I think is how you say it. It's the Body Wave Brazilian. I believe it was supposed to be 150 density. To me, it's pretty perfect. Thickness, it's 22 inches. Now that I'm playing with it and like loosening the curls a little, maybe it's 22. I'd have to measure it. Maybe the synthetic ones I got were just much longer than 22. This felt short when I pulled it out, but I could be wrong. Tell me if it looks right or wrong to you for 22 inches. But for $91 in comparison to others, can't complain. It's real. So like I said, this wig is very soft and it held up pretty well to dyeing. We'll talk about that, but it has a nice curve to it. Curl to it. It's got a natural shape, flowy. The front is definitely thinner than the back intentionally and to look natural, and it does look natural. I don't feel like you have to pluck this. So if you're a noob, you don't want to deal with cutting a huge hairline, everything, that's what the appeal of this was to me. I was really scared of lace. I regret that now. Now that I've watched hours and hours more videos, I regret that now. But for $100, I recommend this over like a $70, $60, $50 synthetic. Spend $50 more, get this. You can do not platinum, but you can get to a different color, and as long as it's something like this that's gonna take over it, it's not gonna matter that you just got it to like a off blonde. Like orangey tones you might want to get rid of so it like lies like more of a natural color, but you don't need to be platinum to get a bright color. So if that's what you're going for, not blonde, you're good. If you're going for a slightly blonde, honey blonde, you can definitely get it there with one bath and some toning. You'll love it. It can be a nice natural brown with minimal damage. There was very, very minimal shedding. I have all of it included in the dye video that I did. The shedding really happened when I styled it, I think, and during the pink. At the point I put the pink in, even though this does not have developer, I continued to work through the hair, and I think that's when most of the shedding honestly happened, aside from the styling, because I did get a nice trash can full of pink. But as you can see, they're dense enough that like it doesn't look thin just because I lost some. Like, you have a lot here. Like, yeah, I have hairspray and dry shampoo in this, but you have a lot here. And it doesn't look like it shed too much aside from in the part. So I'm really happy with it, the quality of the hair in general. I'm very happy with the purchase. But I have a warning when it comes to dyeing, because I had to work very hard to move around my part and like hide the shedding that I got here. So here's my advice on how, if you do this, you can just wear a beanie and say screw it, and you still have a wig that just doesn't look as real. But you can do what I did, which was like hairspray down the hairs to cover the balding as much as I could, and then braid them to keep them in that spot. Wigs want to go in your face anyway. It's super nice to have it pulled back. You cut these 2 little pieces out in the front with a little pair of scissors, and you're good to go. You got a cute look. And then your next step is going to be, usually you might want to do this, like depending on how you are styling it underneath. I haven't got down the placement of my cap correctly, so this actually fell over from where like my headband thing is that was supposed to hide it, but it still makes my head secure, so I like it. Anyway, I put a ton of pink eyeshadow up in here as well to make it so that you cannot tell as much how much it thinned out. So whatever color hair you have, if you have that in a powder form of makeup, here, I just loosened this because it was like glued up there. Whatever you have in a powdered form is what you're going to want to like kind of just dab in there. You can see it's slightly different now that I've pointed it out to you, but just like looking at me, like you're not like, oh, like that's a different pink. Like, no, you don't notice, whatever. So you can definitely cover it like that. The concealer is going to help you cover the excess powder that ends up in the middle, and it's going to make your part match your skin instead of your cap. So you can use that black cap that doesn't match your head maybe. The part does only go back to here, but that's plenty. I think it's fine. It's better than the charisma part, which still is okay, but yeah, I'm happy with the results regardless. And I actually had this headband on just to tighten it to my head. I wasn't planning on using it. I felt like it was wearable enough for this video because I didn't think you'd notice until I came close to the camera. So it's definitely, in terms of like if you just want to use it for film, because where do I want to maybe actually wear pink hair that anybody's going to be convinced that it's really pink? Like, probably not. I don't know, but it's still totally wearable, workable. If it does thin out on the lace, which I think if you're just a little more careful than I was, particularly in that area, when you handle it, don't handle that part as much. I think I really was grabbing it at the front. I think that might have messed it up. I was also up till 5 in the morning. I had 2 beers, so I just felt like getting it done. I was too excited, but just be very, very gentle with the front. If you do dye it, that's my only advice there. So here is my other Baluki, and this is my other stand style that I ordered. Now, I definitely recommend the Amazon stands that I got, the other Amazon. These are also from Amazon, but this was in a really cheap pack. I think it was under $10, and it came with some other things we needed, like pins or something, and the hair caps. I bought a ton of them because some people kind of like recommended cutting them and stuff. I didn't know what I was going to do with them, and I figured it's always just good to have extras. You're going to poke holes in them somehow. They're spandex. So this is the straight hair one on that other form of the stand. The stand wants to like not go together, right, when you first put it. So, and it'll stay. It stays, right? Like I just set it there. It's fine. But like the other ones are more convenient to hang if you have the space. It depends where you're storing them. I also had to put these all the way up on the very top shelf and make room for them in my closet so my cats don't go after them, because they're very interested in the real hair ones in particular. So you know, but it works. This is the top, which actually finally wants to stay put on there. That circle is what didn't want to stay together of it, so whatever. But this is the Baluki straight in 22 inches. It's silkier than the other one, Not that this one isn't silky, but it's more of like a sleek textured hair, as you can see in the light. I love my lighting today. Like, what is this? Actually, I'll lay her here. Lay down there. Hold on. So this is a lot sleeker, silkier hair, obviously because it's straight, and I think as a result of that, it does feel thinner. It doesn't feel like as much of a handful as this does. Is it the same density? Probably. But I just want you to know it doesn't feel as dense. It doesn't look as dense on either. I don't have a clip of this on because I didn't trim it and I didn't want to wear it not trimmed. I'm sorry. I still recommend this one. I'm very leery about bleaching this one. I bought a different form of bleach because I did feel like this went through too much, and I'm not doing the top of her. So I will be able to avoid this lace because I'm only going to go down. I don't know if I could maybe just quick and then do a brown root, but I'm really afraid. I'm going to see how the black to gray looks and just go with that. And then if I feel like it looks really unnatural, I might try. But I'm probably going to just leave her virgin at the top so that I can avoid some of that damage. And then I'll let you know how that goes. The strands themselves are thick enough that I feel like it could probably hold up. The other thing was the way this lifted and the way I've heard that like Asian hair lifts, it made me curious about its origins. I'm just saying, it made me curious. I have no proof, no way to prove it, but it showed you the eyelashes. I read you the card. I don't know what you think in terms of like it being a unworthy Amazon seller, but I ain't the police. I ain't here to be the police. Okay, so this is one of Charisma's wigs that I ordered. I believe it was in 24 inches. As you can see, it is significantly longer than what I'm wearing. And it looks significantly thicker because it's synthetic. This was, I believe, $38 if you round up. It did come with a slightly different part than this. I did play with it and pluck it. I have this styled that the front is now shorter, much shorter than it came. And I went over her with this, which is a thinning razor, to style her. If you're interested in seeing what this looks like, go on my Instagram. It's the same handle, Breeze Beauty 17, but it's on Instagram. And you can see the photos of me wearing this. I love her. I was in love and love and love. I was immediately inspired to do a look. She has a full, well, not a full, I'm sorry, a front lace, but the whole thing is actually lace underneath, and it's very nice. However, like these lines you can see here do cause tracking. So I don't feel like it would lay like in any way usually that would show it because it's so thick. But if you did happen to part it for some reason to style it, you can see it. It's probably not a big deal, but just pointing it out. So yeah, this is her. Now that I've styled her, all I really did was run a brush through it and run a hot blow dryer, obviously, over it. And this, you just brush it nice. You need to definitely brush it every time you want to wear it, and throw it, to make it like untangled and everything. But I don't feel like it tangled super fast. It does tangle obviously a little bit more than real hair, but not super bad, not super bad at all. It has a really nice texture. I've also put a ton of dry shampoo over this, just a little bit of hairspray in the front, and like I said, this has been steamed down. I actually took a wet cloth and a blow dryer and steamed it down, and then the dry shampoo is just to dull the shine of the plastic hair. So I'm gonna lay her here and then we'll switch. Hi, Danny. So this is what was recommended online. I have already styled both of my girls, so it's hard for me to tell if this really works. But I'm going to do, I think, a review on how I feel like this process works. Next time I open my next synthetic wig from Weekend Wigs, I'm going to do another review for them, for the wigs I got from them. But this is my Amazon haul. And this actually, though, you can get on Amazon. One very similar, and this was $15 at Walmart, and I think with shipping is $20 from Amazon. So if it's quarantine right now, but whatever, like if you can order it, if you can pick it up, whatever. I don't think $5 makes a huge difference. It looks exactly the same as the one I saw somebody else use. They also make the big versions of these, the clothing steamers. I think this is really convenient to travel with. I might actually end up using it for things other than my wigs, so that's kind of cool. That a queen gave me that idea. Yeah, that brush I was using and threw on the floor, that's from the dollar store. Yeah. This is the other Charisma I got, and she has a more natural root. This also is not a black root, which a lot of them are, and I was very thankful it's not. This is actually very, very close to my real hair color. Not the color that it is right now, but my real hair color. So, that's cool. Makes it look a little bit more natural. She came much longer than this. Much longer than the other pink one as well, which, by the way, I would like to put her back on my wig stand, which I also got from Amazon. I'm going to also do a video, since I'm so excited about my wigs, on my recommendations for what products you need or what items you need in order to style them and own them in general. This also came with a little stand, so that's how it's attached. Now I have to reattach it. It's not ideal for this lip on my vanity, but she's staying to sit here. I just wouldn't be able to work on it. It would fall off. But on a regular table, and you can slide it all the way, like the lip is thicker, longer. Not thicker, longer, but you know, we like both. But anyway, so this was about 2 inches longer than that one, but just the way it laid, there was like really long weirdness at the end. The curls just like kind of came out and like over your boobs, like in a really weird way. So girl, we thinned her. We trimmed her first, though, because we just didn't need that. So I took my scissors, and what you really want to do when you're cutting it, realize that if you're stretching it, you're going to cut it longer, higher than you mean to. So always, like, hold it loose when you cut it, and then you're just going to take it and drag down, like, when you do it. Because that way it doesn't look real choppy. Like, you notice that one piece in the pink, I didn't, like, it. I just to make it too exact, and like it laid weird. Like, you don't want to do that. Like, you can tell the edge too much, so just be careful with that. Real hair is much easier to cut than synthetic, I realized, because this isn't forgiving. It's plastic, but the same token, if it's this curly, you don't notice. So there's that. This razor, however, makes it much easier, and you just run it over, but you really want to just do it probably towards the bottom, and then I did it a lot in the front, because the front was too thick. And as I mentioned that these come thinner in the front so that they look more natural, these don't. So if you're willing to style this a little bit, if you want to just hide it with a beanie, if you're handy enough to just trim the ends a little, it's fine for cosplay. If you want to make it look realistic, you do got to put a little bit of work into it. But the caps are really comfortable. I wore them for a really long time, and they were the first wig I tried on, and I was like so amazed. I was like, I thought this was going to be so itchy and so terrible, and it really wasn't. I wore it for hours because I was so excited. And I didn't even glue it down, and I could whip my hair around and it wouldn't fall off. So I was really impressed with that. The combs and that band, like, all right, the whole drag queen, like, let me glue this to the 9 because I'm going to flip my hair 9 ways. Like, yeah, no, I don't think these little clips would stand up to that. This is actually glued down as well, but I personally like the glue for the style to make the lace lay. I don't think it's necessary. As long as you can conceal the lace with some concealer, which this does have concealer on it right now because I didn't wash it off, or you get that nice little jagged rhythm to it when you cut it, like, you can kind of hide it and just hide it under the hair, hide it however you hide it, and it's not impossible, but Gluing it, in my opinion, makes it much easier because you can kind of like shape the hair to the glue as it's drying. Like I did it actually with this headband, and like you can see how like now it just frames over all of that I don't want you to see. You can do the same thing with this and glue your hairs to the lace, glue the little baby hairs that you cut to the lace and make it look super natural. But if you don't want to glue it, she will stay on for most of your hazard play. Don't get fucked in her. She won't stay then. Alright, so that's that on my tea on Amazon wigs. I hope you guys like this video. I like to give real opinions, real advice, real old school YouTube where I just speak my mind because nobody's paying me. Nobody wants to pay me. And I don't have enough viewers to care.